things and in my chains. I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode. This is not a main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and in my chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode. Coffee stains and in my chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode. This is not a main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and in my chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode.
Yo, chat, what's up? How's the audio sounding? Let's get straight into some coding interviews. Who's in the chat? How's the audio sounding? But alright. Let's see who's up first today. Damn, not in here? If he doesn't join, then we're gonna hop someone else in, but let me just wait for him. I got some good questions coming up. We got some good questions coming up.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How's it going today?
Good. How are you? Are you the astronomic koala? I understand.
Yep, that is very true. And I see you are Intrepid Broccoli.
That's right.
These guys are flirting at the start of the interview. Hold on, let me check the. I've been watching some of these other interviews that are posted on this platform to kind of understand what other people are asking as well. My water.
That's pretty funny because I'm eating
today.
broccoli like right now, so I like that.
So
Fun like you.
How dare you eat my brethren?
Well, I probably don't taste good. I'm a koala, so we won't have the same problem. All right.
I tend not to eat koalas. Yeah.
Yeah, you're vegetarian, eh?
I've never seen an interview go like this in my life, where they're literally flirting like that. Not gonna lie.
I'm vegetarian when it comes to koalas.
Yeah, we probably don't taste good. Probably a little bit tough, so.
Do not follow this strategy.
All right, cool, man. So before we jump in, just want to kind of quickly touch base on like where you're at in your interviewing process, and like if you're looking for anything in particular for this one.
Yeah, thank you. I've just been referred by a current Google employee who's a former colleague of mine, and I'm looking at jobs in data science,
Nepotism.
and machine learning engineering, and I have not yet applied for the jobs with the referral because I want to, kind of pick my moment, like when I've done plenty of practice and stuff. But I know that there's like a 30-day time limit.
Am I vegetarian? No. Why? Why? What's up? Why do you say that? Why do you think I'm a vegetarian? Let me shrink this up a bit. Yo, if this guy doesn't hop on, I'm gonna have to call the next guy up. So funny.
Okay. So are those two separate like interview tracks where you can do both at the same time?
I'm
Okay,
in terms of like,
this is.
something
I like this question.
more
I'm gonna
like
ask
code
a
thing.
candidate
I
this.
think like probably this algs and data structure stuff. And believe it or not, sometimes I'm weaker on those type of interviews than I am on the actual theory of machine learning and stuff. So I need to practice this as well. But what I was saying earlier is that I'm
Yo, what's up?
doing practice interviews on interviewing.io from you, on algs and data structures at Google, and also I've purchased a specifically machine learning interview from Google on interviewing.io, if that makes sense.
got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, okay, I got a wicked question for you today.
Honestly, I looked at this website and it says $200 or $250, something expensive, US dollars for a mock coding interview. Y'all think that's worth it? Even for me, I was like, I don't know if I would even pay for that. I wanted to schedule one just to see how I would do and then see what kind of feedback they would give. But that's so expensive. How much would y'all realistically pay for a mock coding interview? Who's hosting, like interviewing IO, this platform? Kind of expensive.
It's from a real Google onsite, so this is totally the difficulty you can expect. I will, give you a caveat here and say that this is for the SE track. I'm not quite sure if they do like differ significantly in terms of like difficulty, but I would probably guess that it's the same quality. So this is probably going to be pretty representative for you.
Great. Did you say SD like system design?
No, sorry, like software engineer.
SD. Okay.
Yeah, like the raw track with no machine learning or whatever.
Great.
Okay, wicked. We can possibly branch into a second question, but it's definitely not expected.
Which I'm like waiting for a guy to join in. That's why I'm watching this coding interview. I'm spending a bit more time watching other coding interview videos and channels so I can understand how other people run it and a couple of advice that they give. I could play, yeah, makes sense. I'm gonna shoot this up as a different video. Hey everyone, so today I'm going to observe a Google interview. So this is somebody else conducting a Google coding interview, and I'm sort of watching as a third person, like a third party in here, and I'm just gonna assess how the candidate. I think because I'm not running it, I can assess how the candidate is performing a little bit better because I don't have to give advice, and I could also see how the interviewee or interviewer hosts the interview, and I'll give my perspective on that. So I think this might be also an interesting video. So let's just start this up and watch them. Like, you'll be watching me watch these people run an interview. Shout out to interviewing.io.
In terms of like difficulty, but I would probably guess that it's the same quality. So this is probably going to be pretty representative for you.
Great. Did you say SC like system design?
No, sorry, like software engineer.
SC. Okay.
Yeah, like the raw track with no machine learning or whatever.
Great.
Okay, wicked. We can possibly branch into a second question, but it's definitely not expected. In a real interview, you just be expected to solve this one. But if you're like a superstar, we can absolutely, move you forward.
Great.
Awesome. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how true that is. Usually, if they're gonna ask you 2 questions, you need to solve both questions.
Okay. Let's define a couple files here. Okay. So say this is a web app, and we have our entry point as well. So what I want you to do is write me a program that takes in these files and outputs the directory structure, including the files as well, in a specific format. This is a fun one. Yeah, like this would be a possible solution. There's also other solutions as well. So here's another one.
Chat, what are we thinking for the solution here? Just start commenting. Start putting your thoughts of how you think someone could solve this. I already have my ideas.
So it'll be like this. And yeah, here we go.
Great.
So let's see. So we have web app, and then we have to print the directory structure. So web app assets HTML. See, these have the same prefix. Prints it out like this. The web app and assets, this is in the same level, so it puts JS. And then index is kind of in the web app. But if there's anything else, you would have to go deeper. Hold up. Someone hop in. Oh, no. What about this other one? Web app, JS. Why'd they put JS first? Oh, because, okay. It's just it doesn't really matter the order. You can kind of, like, you could just swap these two around.
Okay, so, and I was planning on writing this, doing this assignment in Python, if that works. It seems like in principle this could be sort of like a bash question, but did you have anything in mind?
No, Python's excellent for this. I would say another good one is Java if you feel comfortable, but Python totally works for me.
Okay, good. Yeah, I actually don't, I'm not so good at Java, so maybe Python is better. Let's see here.
Cool, sounds good.
So first of all, let me just put in here a couple of functions that I'm going to need, and it's...
Chad, what do you think? He's going to get it or what? I don't know. I feel like this candidate they might not solve it. Just the way that they said that. Just the way that they're starting it off. But, I mean, maybe I'm judging a book by its cover.
So I'm just going to put a function isDir, and it'll take in a string which represents the file name, and it'll tell me if the function is a directory as opposed to a file. So it should return a Boolean.
Okay, first off, this candidate is getting into coding a little bit too fast. Like, why is he already starting to write the code? He hasn't really read through the question. He didn't really clarify anything, and he didn't really talk about any approaches yet. Yeah, I'm watching a party from a. I'm watching an interview from a third person perspective, kind of thing. So first off, yeah, they didn't really clarify anything. They kind of just hopped into writing code, even though they're just writing some boilerplate. Still, they didn't talk about their approach at all.
And, there probably is a built-in function that does that, so I'm kind of showing my ignorance here by not knowing it, but, I'm just going to assume that function exists, and alternately I could write is file, or is, is not directory.
Okay.
I'm going to need to know that. Let's see. And I'm looking at the format you gave me. Okay. So, index that.
Honestly, chat, what I'm thinking right away is you probably have to parse these files into some sort of prefix tree or trie, and then you just perform like an in-order traversal and print out, like do a in-order traversal to print out the directory structure. That's what I'm thinking. I haven't tried the question, but based on what it looks like, that's what I think the solution is.
Okay.
I think what you need to do is you have to pass these. I can't edit in here, but pretty much what I think you have to do is you're given a list of these, and you need to parse it into some sort of prefix tree, like web app. Assets. HTML. Maybe a.html. b.html. Right? And then basically the level of the node is how many spaces you should print. And then basically the level of node is how many spaces you should print. And then you could just do like an in-order traversal once you get into this prefix tree. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see if the candidate can get it.
So what is my input to this function? Is it the root directory as a string?
No, so your input to this function would be the list of files, because essentially we want to parse that file system structure and then print it out.
Oh, okay, good. That's a whole different problem. Okay, good. I'm glad I asked. Okay, so
see, he kind of wrote some code even before. He kind of started writing code even before he clarified the question. So you see, he killed 6 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes writing some code, and then he just realized to finally ask that question. I think it's a basic question. What is the input? So these are the kind of questions you have to ask right away. What are the inputs? What are the constraints? What is the expected output given the input? You have to understand what the question is actually asking before you ever write a single line of code.
Here. And for instance, if I noticed that the 4 files you've given me share a common directory, but that needn't be the case, I'm assuming. So there may be more than one, I guess. If you call the root directory just /, but there could be more than one directory on the level directly beneath the root directory. Is that correct?
Okay, so that's a good call out. It will actually make your life more difficult if it is, without giving too much away. So let's assume everything is under /web app.
Oh, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, like let's assume that everything is under the first, like in this case, it would be web app. Like the first root directory would always be the same.
Okay, everything is under, there's only one file in the root directory, let's say, that we care about. In this case, web app is that file, and we can assume that there's no others.
Yeah, like web app would be the directory though, right? I know you said file. Web app would be the directory.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe I'm using incorrect terminology. When I say file, I mean to say whatever the word is that could be either a file or a directory. I don't know exactly what word to use for that.
Chat, how's the audio? Could you hear the audio of the other guy or no?
I see. Okay. Just to be specific though, let's assume that it's always a directory. Like there's always a top level directory, and it's always just a directory. Yeah.
That's a good assumption to keep in mind. Okay, there exists a top level directory and only one, so there exists a unique top level directory. Okay.
Honestly, chat, within 5 to 10 minutes, I usually know if a candidate is going to be able to pass the interview or not.
And I guess like just one very quick hint, because I don't want to throw you off here. Don't like fix on that top level directory. It doesn't change much. Like for you solutioning out, it's not productive to focus too much on that. It's just if it wasn't there, your solution might be a lot more complicated.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
I feel like the interviewer is kind of saying too much because is going to make things more complicated. You should just be able to get files and whatever. Doesn't matter if there's the root directory changes.
Let's see. Okay. So this is kind of silly, but I know that I'm going to need a file to. Okay, so my input is a list of strings, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Oh, my keyboard's going a little janky here. Okay. So that'll be my main function.
Where is he writing?
And it's just going to print, right? It has no specifically machine learning. I don't know if I'll end up using that or not, but it should be.
Wait. Okay, you see, he didn't really talk about his approach at all. He's just starting to write more code. He should start discussing his actual approach. What I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna print it out, what data structure am I gonna use to store it, how am I gonna traverse that data structure to print out the thing. You know what I mean?
And it's just going to print, right? It has no return value. Is that correct?
Hey, I'm sorry, I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have to return anything, just print it.
Okay, good. So I'll make myself a little function here that says remove initial character. I don't know if I'll end up using that or not, but it should be a string input. Okay. I'll put pass there. Okay, so print files is going to do that. Okay, let's see.
I could already tell watching this interview that it's not trending in the right direction.
Okay, well, because of the format that...
It's been 13 minutes. He hasn't really explained his approach, and he already has 6 lines of code, 5 lines of code written down. So I'm already thinking He's not doing, like, he doesn't have a good method to actually, like, conduct or achieving something in this interview. We'll see though. Let's see if he could surprise me.
Given me conveniently, I can start printing right away. So in other words, like, there's no need for me to delay any printing. Once I see the first line of the input, well, actually, you wrote, yeah, it doesn't. So apparently, from your examples, it doesn't matter in which order I put the subdirectories, right? Like assets versus well, index is not a directory, but like HTML could come before JS, or the other way around, for instance. Or do they need to be in a certain order?
No, they don't have to be in any order. It's just arbitrary directories. Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of nice. So I can actually just start printing right away, and I probably don't have to remember that much. I have to remember like the current directory that I'm in. So maybe let's see here. There might be something like finding a common root with a given file or something. Let's see here. So once I get that, I know I need to go down there. So yeah.
Do you ever do LeetCode in JavaScript or Python? No, I only use Python. The main reason I only use Python is because Python has all the good data structures. JavaScript doesn't even have heaps, and even its queues don't really work the way you would expect it to. And yeah, both of them are talking a lot of fluff. It's been 15 minutes, and there hasn't been much progress.
So essentially, what's going on here is I'm every line that I come across, I need to print a directory, sort of. I need to print a list of things that end up being a file. So if I look at the first thing and it says web app JS CJS, can you see that highlighting that I've done there?
Yep, I can.
Okay. So
why don't I use C++? I don't use C++ because it requires too much boilerplate code. Like I don't want to deal with typing at all, especially if they're going to ask me 2 questions in a span of 45 minutes and they're going to be medium to hard. It's all about speed. I don't want anything slowing me down.
I can do that as one thing. So really, I should think of it as I'm printing the first 3 lines represent of the print of output represent one thing, which is the c.js file, and the printing format comes from a list, each of which is like the path to that file. So think of the path to c.js, for instance, like a list of strings, which are dir names. Okay, and plus, lastly, a file name. So what I want to do is I want to make a function that says that print path, and it's going to take in a list of, so I'll call it path, which is going to be a list of strings, and it's going to output none. And what it's going to do is I'm going to give it a list of strings. Hopefully this is becoming clear what I'm going for here. So print path of web app, this will be strings, web app, comma, assets, comma, let's say JS, because we were taking the other example, JS, comma, c.js will print these first 3 lines. So all that print path needs to do is sort of think docstrings need 3 quotes like that. So I want to say just print the list, print each string on its own line, each indented, with dashes, I guess. Each printed.
Also, chat, this is in 2021. I think candidates have gotten a lot better in the last 4 years.
With
There's been a lot of leak code inflation.
an extra indentation. So now, what I need to do is, when I get a new file, is, okay, so also I need to, this is interesting. Okay.
Like, first off, you need to make sure that you don't print the same path twice. So you can see how this one path is printed unique. So if I print out the prefix of JS, it has the same prefix of web's assets, but web asset, that one prefix was only done, like, printed once. So I don't think this candidate solution will actually get that case. That's why I think you need to build a prefix tree in order to do this, is to avoid, like, or easily print the paths and avoid printing the duplicate paths.
So in the example that you gave, web apps plus, like, all of the files that are in the HTML subdirectory are together. But I'm guessing that I cannot assume that that would be the case in general. Is that right?
Yeah, that'd be right.
Okay. So it might be worth doing a sort of a sort on the initial file so that I can assume that. Now, the thing that I would want to think about is there any way that could bite me? Like, if I do, supposing I sort the input and I just say, here is like files equals list sorted files, is that going to come back to bite me somehow in that, first of all, what's the problem here? It says undefined name list. Oh, okay, so I need to import list from typing. So is there any reason that should not guarantee me that all of the files that are in a common subdirectory will be together? So I don't know. It seems like that would work. Do you have any objection to that solution? To that, that step in the solution to sorting it like that? Are you there?
This guy's on mute again.
Sorry, I was muted again. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I see what you're doing here. Okay, I've never seen this solution, so I think what you're kind of doing is like, I'm just trying to understand.
So the interviewer, I feel like he doesn't actually understand what this guy is trying to do. Maybe the interviewer hasn't done that many questions, so he only sees one way that you could do it. So he's having a little bit of trouble trying to see this approach. But let's see if he can give a good advice, or if he can actually give good advice here.
Can I try to explain it one more time?
Sure. The only one thing I would say, and this is something that trips people up commonly when they just think of like a simple solution, is just keep in mind that you're not duplicating the parent directories for each one. Like for a.html and b.html, they're both just under HTML, and that's not printed twice, right?
Yeah. Actually, no, that's good advice. That's what I would have said too. So what I was saying earlier is, with the way he's printing the path, it's gonna end up with some dupes.
Oh yeah. So yes, I agree. So my plan was that in order to determine what needs to be printed for each for each entry in the files list. So far, so good. So I'm trying to go from entry in the files list to what needs to be printed. So first, I'm going to take a sort of, greatest common directory with the previous item in the list. And then that will help me determine, or least common directory, or however we want to say it. That will help me determine what to print. So if I'm looking at web app /assets/b.html, I can say, okay, well, last thing that I did was print a.html, so I don't need to reprint these things here. And therefore, what I'm going to send to the print path function is a singleton list that is just b.html because of that information. Now, if A and B did not appear, if between A.html and B.html there was another file that lived in the JS directory, for instance, that would kind of break my approach because they wouldn't be gathered together and I wouldn't be able to look at the previous entry to determine what I needed to print. And that's the function of calling sorted there. Does that help you understand better what I'm going for?
Yeah, it definitely helps me understand more. I'm just curious kind of how you're going to implement it. I will give you one hint just to kind of simplify your solution because it's still possible that this will work, but I think perhaps a simpler way would be kind of to just parse this into some sort of data structure, and then that data structure will kind of like inherently remove any duplication. And, you know, just one quick traversal of that will give you the correct answer you're thinking.
Oh.
That was a crazy hint. He's basically saying, I don't know. Let's see if that was a good hint or if that was too much of a hint.
Okay, that'll work. Okay then.
Yep. Okay, it's up to you though. If you feel confident.
But maybe we'll see if he can figure out the right data structure.
In this one and you want to do it, it could still be okay as well. So I'll leave it up to you.
Well, I mean, it just so naturally forms a tree, doesn't it? So it just makes sense to put things in a tree of some kind. So maybe we'll do it that way. Okay. So you recommend making a little class, so node, and then we'll say that each node has a string, and so we'll say.
Where's he writing?
Def init dot L. I mean, it's just so now self dot.
See, like this guy, he jumps into coding way too fast. So he didn't really say what he's gonna do. He didn't say he's gonna make a prefix tree or anything like that. But maybe he's gonna get it. Let's see.
Name equals, well, I don't know. Name is probably a reserved term, isn't it? So I'll say self dot node name equals s. And
Yo, David, what's up? Yeah, exactly. He didn't really mention what he's gonna do. He just said, "Oh, we're gonna work with a tree. Okay, let me implement a tree." Instead of saying, "This is what I was like." Oh, okay. What data structure I'm gonna store it in? Maybe I'm gonna store it in a prefix tree or a binary tree or exact. And then, oh, I'm gonna do this sort of traversal in order to print it out. Like you need to be able to say what exactly you're gonna do and then do it.
And I also need it needs to have some children. So I will say def add child. And that will be self and s string. And then I will say self dot children. Let's say this. How about this? So if self dot children dot append node s.
Okay.
And then I will say else self dot children equals.
Okay, what is this? If self dot children, but what is self dot children? It wasn't initialized.
A list containing node of s. Okay.
Okay, I see. Not okay. He has it so that it creates it on the fly. I see.
So that seems to make sense. This is just an n-ary tree. There's no limit on the number of children a given guy can have.
Okay.
I may have forgotten something, but if so, I'll go back and make it. And then I probably won't need this print path function. So let me just comment that out. We'll just move everything to the bottom. So now let's just go into main function. So that's print files of files, which is
Yeah, I mean, he took the hint, but the hint was kind of a big hint. It was parse into some data structure, then traverse the data structure. I mean, I guess it's not really that big of a hint, because then he said, oh, okay, maybe we can parse into a tree. But let's see, now that he sort of got, it took him about 20 minutes, now he's got steered the right way. So now he pretty much has another 20-30 minutes to actually implement it. So let's see if he's able to implement it.
a list of strings, and it returns none. And then we'll say, so the first thing we want to do is, I mean, really our print files function should do only two things, one of which is tree is equal to build tree from files.
Nice.
Okay, and then it should do the last thing, which is print tree of tree. I mean, that's really what essentially is going on. And
yep.
Why is it undefined? Oh, well, yeah, I haven't defined it yet, of course. Oh, gosh. This happens to me. I keep locking myself out of my computer accidentally. Okay, so now let's make build tree. So let's say def build tree from nodes, well, from files, which is a list of strings. And it outputs a node, which is the head, and
this guy's making a comeback though.
We'll do that in a second, and we'll just say another function is called def print tree, which takes in a node, which is the root of the tree, and root, which is a node, and outputs none.
He's kind of wasting a lot of time trying to type everything, though. Like just implement the thing. I still he's almost running out of time, but he's making good progress. He still has 30 minutes left, but I mean, usually they're not just gonna ask this one question for the whole hour.
Okay, and that we'll figure out what that means in a second. Oh gosh, I keep blocking myself out of my computer. So, what should we do first? Let's see. There's build tree and there's print tree. How much time do we have? We are on 29 minutes here, so maybe not going quite as fast as I would like, but we'll get it done. Okay, so build tree from files. What I want to do is I want to say something like split it on the slashes. So, you know, I can extract this into its own function. If I were a Python Jedi, I should know exactly how to do it. So let's say,
oh, it's cool. You can make something up. No worries, man.
Okay. Parse file name into list, and it's going to take in a string path, which is a string.
Like, why is he creating another function for this? Just call dot split.
And it's going to output a list of string. Okay, so we'll also do that in a second. But so build tree is going to say for path in files. First, it's going to say list path as list equals parse file name into list of path, and then what don't you like about that? The local variable is assigned to but never used. Okay, whatever. So now I'm going to go through the list and add the node to the tree if it's not already there. So I should probably have a little auxiliary function that says add to tree. Add node, tree, and this is going to be so root, node, and it's going to do nothing because it's going to modify it in place. And okay, so then I'm
Like, he's taking so long. He needs to get to the part where he's parsing the tree and building out the tree.
say path as list equal to parts is equal to that. For I don't know, item in path as list. Well, actually, you know what? I should just pass the entire list into add node to tree, because I don't need to go through everything again and again. So why don't I just make it list node, list of node,
Okay.
and then, but it's not going to necessarily be a root. It's going to be like a path. So for item in path is list, now I don't need to do this. I should just say for path and files, path is list is this, and I'll say add node to tree, which is path as list. And that should really take care of it once I implement that function. And then down here, it'll return, so let's say, first of all, yeah, I mean, this will actually do everything. I just need to make sure I have the root node available. So maybe, I don't know, parse file name into list, or rather add node to tree could take in a root as well. So let's say root path as list. It's hard to say exactly what we want here. So obviously I need to tell what tree I'm going to add it to at some point. So root node, and I'm going to need to create the root in build tree somewhere. So that needs to happen. So let's say root equals a node, just blank string at first, and then in add node to tree, I might need to populate the root. So I'll need to make sure to check if the root is empty, just for if the root dot node name is empty. Okay, so let's get back to business. For path and files, add node to tree, do that stuff. That seems like all we need in principle for that function.
He's moving a little bit too slow.
And
okay, I have a candidate coming up, so let's just see where he gets to.
The problem is if I say
skip to 40.
has
Let's
no
skip to
name,
37.
no name, unless if indent spaces plus equals that, and then I'll print spaces, and then I.
Okay, let's see where he's at. Let's see where he's at 40 minutes. So he's building the tree. He's parsing the file name into a list. Add node to tree. Print tree helper. Man, this code is getting already way complicated than it needs to be.
Called it parse file name into list. Okay, so this one is basically just like, this is something with Python string split.
Okay, I'm gonna cut to the end and see if he gets it.
You know, you're excellent. We're not gonna.
Because we have a candidate up next.
Oh, okay. Just giving me that heads up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So current node is equal to, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Like, the code has already got so messy.
So current node dot children of index of, so we'll say in here that index is equal to get index of item in current node dot children, and I forget how to do that in Python, which I should know. So we'll just say get index of X and L. So
Yeah, I don't know, like, okay, Cyclops, hop in the chat. I think the candidate failed the interview. So let's go. Let's hop into the chat. No, the candidate didn't get it. I'm gonna ask Cyclops the same question and let's see if he gets it. I think he'll get it. I know Cyclops didn't really even, like, he just joined, so I'm sure he didn't see it. Cyclops, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
I'm good. How you doing?
Honestly, yeah, I'm a bit tired, so we'll see how this goes. But
Yeah.
I had to make myself a quick coffee before I got on the
no
call.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but how about you?
in.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Yeah, probably after this, gonna go meet up with some friends. It's late for, yeah.
All right.
This is gonna be fun.
good.
All right, I'm gonna start up a video. Wait, let me check up.
All right.
Okay. For the introduction. This is your third time, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's third time.
Hey everyone, so today I have a student from the Stevens Institute of Technology, and this is the third time he's actually coming on, so we're going to try to probably ask harder questions. I forgot what I asked him last time, but I'm pretty sure you passed the interview. He solved around 100 questions. Stevens Institute of Technology is based in New Jersey, and yeah, so how's recruiting season for you? Are you about to, when do you graduate again?
Next December, 2026.
Oh,
December.
so 2026
Yeah.
December. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, how come what companies are you aiming for? Didn't you say you're aiming for unicorns before, and not really fan companies yet?
Yeah, like companies like I know I have an interview in the fall for Gusto for their
Nice.
summer like intern cohort, and so I'm just prepping a lot for that. So I'm shooting for like companies like that, and like MongoDB was like another one I wanted to try out.
Nice.
Yeah, I had an interview with them last year, but I bombed it, so I'm gonna try it
Yeah.
again. Hopefully I get it. Yeah.
Nice. So what other companies you have interviews lined up for? Is it just Gusto?
Yeah, right now, yeah, it's just Gusto, just because I happened to go to one of their networking events in New York, and I met up
Nice.
with one of the recruiters. So
Nice.
yeah.
How's your grind been for Lead Code? Have you started just pumping out questions, or you're just not really doing too many Lead Code questions?
So early summer and like a little bit like before that, like once I like the first time I came on to do an interview with you, I was pumping Lead Code pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an internship for the summer, and then with that on top of like some like personal projects I was trying to complete, it's been really tough to like get some Lead Code practice in. I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of out of it for like the past like it was like a month and a little over. I was like kind of out of Lead Code. I just like couldn't find the time. And then now, well, like my internship's over now. I started up again like a couple weeks ago. So I've been just kind of like trying to refresh myself because I was kind of out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing the right thing. You're working on projects and not just lead coding.
Yeah.
What kind of projects are you working on, or what are you kind of focused on?
Right now I'm trying to build this like full stack like mobile app idea that I had.
Nice.
With like the whole like I'm building like the whole API and the whole front end on Flutter and everything.
Nice.
So it's been taking me a long time, but trying to get it going.
That's good. Actual practical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I sent you a link. Let's get into it.
Yep. So okay, I'm in
Alright.
here.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah. How often or how much do you spend in a day actually coding then? When you because you're not in internship anymore, are you spending 8 hours a day working on this project and doing lead code?
Yeah, so like the internship was like a part-time remote thing. So I was like working it was 4 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't too bad. But so like now that it's over, I'm spending that like time slot like working on the project. And then the rest of the day it's kind of like up in the air. I either do lead code or I just like skip lead code for the day and I focus on like just like actual fundamentals, like learning like object oriented stuff and
I
like all
see.
that.
So
Yeah.
at least 8 hours per day, you're trying to do something productive in terms of like your career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Pretty cool. All right, let's get straight into this first question. What language do you use for coding again?
Just Python.
All right. So this is the very first question. What we're gonna be given is a list of files, and then we want to just print out into the console something like this. It could be either this or the second one. Doesn't really matter. The order doesn't really matter, but we just want to print out the directory structure given a list of files. So I'll let you go ahead and read that. We want to prioritize working code, and we'll probably ask 1 to 2 questions. If you solve this one, we'll move on to the next.
Okay. So yeah, take a look. Briefly take content is preserved. Um. Okay, so I kind of like understand. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only question I have is essentially like, so I see here. So here it's kind of like in order where we have web app is like the first directory, and then we have assets, and then assets is followed by HTML, and then the stuff inside of HTML,
Mm-hmm.
and we also have JS is followed by this. But like for oh, I see. So is this JS one is just like on top in this second one. It's basically it comes first and then the assets one comes second. Okay, I see. Okay, let me take a moment to think about this. Okay, so I guess like one approach would just be like, so I look into like this list and I see like this first element is one of our directory like structures or like it paths to this file like a.html.
Mm-hmm.
So I can basically look at this and I can maybe keep like a so how this return value is just like it is just basically like just strings like this like in kind of like a box like
Basically,
like
you want that to be printed out in the console, like web app. When we look in the console on the right side, it needs to look like that. That makes sense.
Okay.
Like so, something like .n. Right. So you print it out like that.
Okay.
Or sorry, not dot like dot space or dot tab. And, or that one doesn't have a tab, but the second one should have one tab. Like basically, when we look at the console to the right, we just need to see that.
Okay, I see. I think the trickiest part for me here is just actually getting it structured so it prints that way at the end. But I think like back to my logic, I was about to say that we just we look at this first string, this first element, and then we see that we've reached. So here we have like a backslashes, and in between we have one directory. So we would basically maybe save this somewhere, and we could see like wherever we saved it, we could see if we already have like a web app saved, and if we don't, so we add it to wherever we're saving it. Maybe it'll be like an array or like maybe even like a dictionary or something. And then from there, like we can check the next like file after this next backslash. We can see we have assets, so we would add that to like the dictionary. But we would add it as like a value to our web app because it's what follows the web app, right? So the key would be web app, and the assets would be its value, and it would just go like that. It would basically be like an ordered file directory, like using like a dictionary. How we're gonna get this print to be like this out of like our like dictionary once it's all like set in stone, I'm not sure.
So what's this dictionary actually gonna look like after you like insert it into it?
So it would look something like, so let's say like directory, right? And it would well, let me actually just do this. Yeah, I was about to do that. Thank you. Okay, so it would look something like we have web app, right? And then here we would have like a nested like dictionary within web app. So it points to the value would be another dictionary, and this in here would be like assets. And then from here, like it would be like a following, like if there's something else after the backslash, we would have another dictionary. And then from here it would be HTML, and then here after this we see that it's just a file, so we would just do like or we can do another dictionary because we may have multiple files in HTML, which we do. So we would do like
it's gonna be like a bunch of nested dictionaries.
Yeah, essentially that was like my first like thought process. However, once I think of doing it this way, and then I see that we need like we need to print it in like a specific way, I'm not sure. Maybe we can like maybe we could like loop through like the directory like dictionary like once it's like complete, and we can say maybe like, okay, we have a key, so the key would be the first thing that we print, and then its values would be the next like set of lines basically. And then it would be like, okay, so we have assets, so assets would go here like where this JS is, right? And then here we see assets, its value is also like a dictionary. So we would then also tab, like do another like double line and then HTML and like tab it twice, right? And it would go like that essentially. I guess the dictionary gives us like a way to see, to kind of like loop through everything without having to deal with this like these strings like in the file input. I'm not sure if that like sounds like I'm on the right track, or do you have like a different suggestion?
See, yeah, so it does make sense. You're gonna print it into a bunch of nested dictionaries. Like, is there? Okay, and then how are you gonna go ahead and about printing it? You said you're gonna loop through and recursively kind of print out.
Yeah, like kind of recursively print down, and once we reach like I guess like here we see the value of web app is also a dictionary, so we know that we have to tab it on the second line. because we have like basically like another like directory that we have to follow, um, like something of that nature. However, like I don't know if my logic is flawed somewhere, or not. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, it just the the only thing I'm thinking about is kind of a complicated way to store it. Like, with dictionaries are dictionaries, and some dictionaries are different levels than the other.
yeah, that is an issue. Um, yeah, because like we'd have to like really like go through a lot of dictionaries depending on how on the constraints of the input. Um, so I guess like this would be like a naive approach, if anything, or at least one naive approach out of
It,
like however many.
it makes sense, but I feel like the data structure is just when you're looking at can you look at it and think of another data structure that you can kind of store this in that will achieve the same hierarchical kind of thing?
Um, okay, well, when I'm thinking about hierarchical like data structures, other than a dictionary, well, arrays would definitely not be one of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Even dictionary is not really like doesn't really have hierarchy. Usually flat, like key to value.
oh yeah,
But
yeah, I
then
guess like
when
if
the
it's
values
nested,
are
maybe.
dictionaries, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, dictionaries flat out, definitely not. Um, maybe like a tree or in some way. Um, maybe like the root of the tree would be like the first directory and then so forth. um, I don't know. That feels like a stretch, or maybe like even a heap, maybe. Um, no, but a heap. I don't think a heap would work. Um, huh. Let me sit on this for a minute. Let me really
Sure.
think on this. Um, hmm.
Well, like the way when I'm looking at this, it's like a dictionary. It's a bunch of nested dictionaries. It forms like sort of a tree right here already.
Mm,
But if you can't figure out how to do a tree, or you think that this way is better, let's just go ahead with this approach.
yeah, I think. Um, no, I think I do want to try a tree. I think is tree like the right approach or like the better approach here.
What do you think?
I'm assuming yes. That's what I'm thinking, just based off like the like just kind of like the hierarchy. Like we have a node and we have its children, and the children could maybe be seen as like the next directory or the next folder that's involved in this directory. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I'm thinking a tree would be maybe the next best solution.
Yeah.
Mm. Let's see. Just how would I do this? I'm actually.
Like the main thing I'm thinking about is just storing it in a dictionary of dictionaries. Like, what if it gets multiple levels and some dictionaries paths go deeper than others, and then also like I don't know. It's just I feel like the data is already better structured within a tree, and like even traversing it would be easier. But it's really up to you. Like I think the solution would work.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, it's just that I think it's gonna be a little overcomplicated. I think I'm gonna get lost if I try like a dictionary. So I think I'm gonna try and do a tree. I might struggle, but it'll be okay. So, let's just try it. So first, like when we're trying to like, when if we want to use like a tree here, we would first like build the tree from the ground up, right? Like given the files. So we would maybe do something like so first like let's like, so we have like a root, right? And let's just say we want to, so we iterate like through the path in files, right? And then like once we see like this like backslash, we know we've gone like to like a folder. So maybe we want to maybe remove like those like the leading and like the trailing like backslashes. So maybe we want to do like, just so we get like the little like folders themselves, maybe we can do something like so we could do something like path is like dots, like I think it's dot strip or something like this. And I think we would also have to do like dot strip, and we'd have to do dot like split, something like this. So now we have like each folder. And then so after this, like I guess we would navigate through like our tree, and maybe like we create the nodes like as we need them. Like if we haven't seen them yet or they're not like in the tree already. So like, so we could do like, so this creates like all of our like folders. So we do like, so we iterate through. So for folder like in parts, or for like item, I guess, because it might not be a folder. It just makes more sense that way. So for item and parts. So if the item is not in our like root, we can like add it, or we can do like I guess we would kind of be doing like this. I'm just gonna play with this. So I think like I'm kind of still following like kind of this like nested structure, but let me just see how this will like work out. So so our current, we add our current like item to our root with value of like this, right? Okay. So and then I think if it is an hour root, then we can do like let me take a step back and look at this again. Okay. Well, okay, so let me just like, so let's just say like I might come back to this, but let's just say like our directory is filled. Like after like doing this part, like this logic, we have to find a way. I think one of the other biggest like struggle here is to find a way to print it in this
Sure.
format.
Mhm.
So maybe we can get like we can make like a helper function maybe. So we can do like a helper print directory. Okay, and we can give it our node and oh, like we need this prefix. I think like what's this let's see, T is tabs it, and then all right, well, it would be, well, we give a node. Let's just do that, and then we can say,
All right, so like let's imagine you get like you parse the files into a tree. What would that tree look like? Can you show me at a high level? Like in here, what the tree would look like, similar to the way you showed how the hash maps of hash map solution would look like.
So I think it would. I think it would be similar to like this. Essentially, this is kind of what I was going for. So I think it would just be like, yeah, so it would just be a web app. So we have web app, we have a nest within web app, then we have HTML or assets, HTML, and then I think, yeah, you would just get like it would just be this, and then
Like,
from here we could
draw it
do
out like a tree, so I understand what it would, yeah, what it would look like. I think it will help when we talk about the traversal part of printing it.
okay. So first we have like our, I guess like head like would be a web app, right?
Sure. So this is gonna be a node.
Yeah, so this would be like a node.
Sure.
And then I guess from here we would go like we do assets, and then then from here we would do HTML, and then
HTML is branched off web app.
or no, sorry, it would be HTML would be branched off assets, so it would be like this, and then that would go away. Yeah, so
Okay.
and then from HTML then you have your two like children. Let's just say like a.html or a and then b. Let's just not like even put the HTML thing.
Sure. What about JS?
And then so we would go back up, and we would put JS as like another children of assets.
Okay.
And then from here, from what I remember, yeah, so it would be just C. So it would be like the next thing. Maybe something like this.
So how would we go ahead and go? How would we go about actually printing this out once we have it in this right data structure?
I guess we would do like maybe a DFS like on this. So we would go web app, assets,
Yo, Paul,
HTML,
congrats.
or like we would print it like, so print web app, then go down, print assets, then I guess since the output itself doesn't matter whether we put HTML or JS first, we can just like do a DFS and then print HTML. Let's say like if we're following the left side, then we would print A and then B, and then we would just go back up and then print JS and then C. That's I guess that would be my first like initial idea in printing it.
Okay. Like how do you know how many indents to do?
I guess like the indent would depend on the level that we're at. So here we see like we're at level 0, so maybe we would say like we would just not put an indent, and then now we've reached the next level, so we know that this is indented, and then this is the next level, so this is even further indented twice, and then these are indented 3 times, right?
Okay.
And then same thing for this.
I think it definitely makes sense. I think you have the right approach. Let's go ahead and implement it then now.
Okay.
So, yeah, for time we have about like 12 minutes left for coding.
Yeah. It's just to be honest, like I don't even know how I'm gonna implement this.
So you have a node. So these are all nodes, right? So how are they gonna know? How are we gonna store the children?
Well, can I assume that we have like our like tree like class already?
Or you'll have to create the node class.
Okay. Okay, well, if we were just created like just like a normal tree, like we would have like our node.left, node.right, and
well,
the
one
problem
node
is
could have
that
a ton of children.
yeah, exactly. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to think how I would implement it because I'm so used to like trees where it's just like 2 children. So it's like
Yeah.
when it has multiple children, it's like how would I implement this then?
Give you a small hint, like maybe instead of like a left and right, use an array or a set, or maybe a set is unique.
Okay. So I guess like instead of left and right, we would just have like children, and the children would be like a set. Okay. So okay. So let's just go ahead and let's like implement like I guess let's just start by doing like our class, like our tree class, right? If I remember correctly. Try to remember how to do the tree node. Okay, so I think it's like well, I'm getting I'm kind of lost right now. Just give me a second.
So what are you thinking? Like, how are we actually going to create this tree?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do they do it in LeetCode usually?
Well, okay. So in LeetCode, actually, what am I doing? So we have class tree node.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, or it's this. Do we don't have parentheses?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Sense.
Okay. So we initialize it. and let's just say val is none, and usually it's left and right, but I guess children would be I think let's just do like self.val is equal to val, and self.children would be like a set, something like this, something like that, but I don't know why I'm getting
Yes.
this.
Okay.
Children is not accessed. Oh, okay.
Maybe you could just do this.
Okay. Okay. So from here we can say, okay, let's just name it like well, first we would have to build a tree. So given the list of like our paths, we build a tree. So
Sure.
let's build, let's just do like build tree. Let's just do like files. Right. So we have so we have a it's just I don't know how am I gonna because before it was with the set, so how am I gonna do this now? Okay, so let's just like so for file path and files, let's just say I think this was essentially partially right, so we do have to like maybe split it up. And then I think it's also we also do file path.
We could assume that there's no like leading or trailing spaces in each file.
Okay. So I think this is fine then. So once we have our parts, we could say for item and parts, we would say if this item is not already like a node, I guess. This item is how do I check if this item is a tree node or not? Or in our tree nodes.
Parts.
Well, my idea was kind of like, so for item and parts, we would do like tree node or item is equal to like something like this.
Okay.
Where the value would be well, we would do like item and like the set, I guess. Well, the set, this is where the children.
Come back up to the tree here on line 58. Like pretend, like web app doesn't need to be. There could be multiple roots, right? So maybe let's just have like one root that's blank. Because web app might not be the root. Pretend there's a different file with hello or something. Does it make sense?
I see.
Yeah, there's like hello.js. This line 9. You need to be able to support that.
Okay. So I guess maybe let's just maybe make like maybe we can make like I'm thinking maybe let's just make like a dummy node, I guess, right now. So let's just do like root is like tree node, and we can say like root. We'll just that's what it'll be. I think here, like in case, like let's say maybe it doesn't have children, maybe we could do like well, let's worry about that after. So let's do so our cur is equal to root. Maybe we're starting with like this dummy node. Maybe so for each item, what I'm thinking is like if this item is not in our car's like children, then we like create it, let's say. So we would do like here we do if item not in cur dot children, I believe, right? It was a set. So if it's not in there, so we would do cur dot children would of our item is equal to, and we make it like a tree node, something like this. And I think we can just give it item. I think because it's just a string. I don't think I need to put str in there. And then after that, like whether we create a child or not, then we just move on. So like we set cur like equal to like our current item, I guess, like our child item. So we do like cur dot children like item. Let's just say I think something like this. And then I think after that, like after loop store all the items, then we can assume that it was built. So maybe we can just return like our root, our dummy like top.
Let's assume like that works and builds a tree. Could you do the next part of actually printing it out? Like what would that code look like?
Okay, so here we make like a helper, right? So we could do print print directory, let's just say. So we would give it the node, and I think I'm trying to think, does any other parameters? Well, I guess like the level maybe, or we could do either a level, or we could do something like maybe we give, instead of level, we could also do like maybe we give it like a prefix, and then maybe this prefix will get bigger, like it'll tab more and more, like as we recursively call this function.
Sure.
And let's just go with that for now.
Sure. Yeah, like we
so
can just append a tab to it, and just every time we recurse, we append a tab.
Yeah. So let's just do, I think, so children would be, so we would take like the node dot children, and we would take like the items, right? And I think we can put this, can we do this? Or I think, is this like a thing? I think this is a thing, right? Let's just put it in here. It's done. But, and let's say, well, okay, so we have our children. So we would loop through like our children. So and like let's like I guess like enumerated as well. So we would do, so for name, and let's say like node of child in enumerate like children. We could do like so we would check maybe from here. We would see like, so here we would adjust this prefix that I was talking about, like the parameters, so we can so if not root, right? So so we would do like if the vowel, our like new prefix is, it would be like prefix plus, and how would we even increase this actually? We would just maybe give it like we would do this or something. Yeah, otherwise
You could do prefix plus like just tab.
okay, yeah, that, and then otherwise new prefix would just be like, it would just be this, for example, and then from here, and then we would maybe recursively call from here, we would do print directory, and we would do something like node of child, our new prefix, and I think like something like this. I'm sure there's like bugs here or some logic I'm not like seeing, but I think this is more or less. Oh, and then, well, we need like a base case if we're calling this recursively. So I guess at the top here, we would do like so
kind of a base case because we wouldn't have looped over the children if there's no more children. Kind of captures that. This list would be empty when you get to the leaf.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're
Something
at
like
45
that. Yeah.
minutes, so maybe just walk me through the code one more time, top to bottom.
Yeah, so here we initialize our tree nodes. So instead of just like a normal LeetCode style, we would just give it, since we were gonna have multiple children possibly, we would just give it a set like you recommended. So we would just do self-val, self-children. From here we build our tree. So here I make like a dummy node to start with, and then for each string in our files like input, we can split up like each like folder or each item like in the string, depending like by stripping and splitting like the
Makes sense.
backslashes, right? And then so now we're looking at our current and then for each item in our like parts that we just made, if it's not already like a tree node, then we make it a tree node, and then we also make our current like the item.
This
like
makes sense.
the child. And then we return it, and then and then from here, our print, we would just we would make our children like into like an array, and then I enumerated it. So for like name, well, I didn't use name here, but yeah, for node of child, like if it's not a root, then like we are tabbing it like even further, and if it isn't, if it is a root, then we're just leaving it as is. And like we would have to print like here, maybe like at the top here we would do like, I was thinking something like if it's a root up here, maybe we would just do like our print, and we would do like the name or something of that nature, and we would do like the little like this format that we're looking at here on the side. Like even like we could do like name,
Sure.
something like
Where's
this.
name though?
Or
Name.
well, not name. What's it called? I think it would just be not name, but like, because name isn't accessible from here. We could do like the value, I guess, because the value is also like the name. Here we would build like the prefix at the start.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Okay, I
No,
don't
it's
get
not.
this part though. So we're looping through all the children. If the children is just a list of list nodes, enumerate name would be the index, right?
Oh yes, you're right. So yeah, I didn't even. I'm not even using this either. At least in here. Maybe I shouldn't even enumerate it. Maybe I should just leave it as is. I'm trying to think of where I would even
If
if
node
I
dot
would need the
val,
index.
why would we add to the prefix? New prefix equals. Like if it's children and we're gonna or what are these two different edge or different cases for?
So we're here like it was kind of like my attempt of like adjusting the tabs in front if we're not like if we are not like a root or if we are a root.
Well, if we are,
I'm sure like
or if we
something
are a
thought-
root or not a root. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if my logic is 100% on this.
Yeah, look, it looks good. I feel like we could just go like straight up like this. So we print the value and then we loop through as children.
Yeah, but then like there's a problem of like how are we increasing the tabs?
Well, it's like recursively, right? This
here.
prefix is.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see this. Okay.
Yeah, like the child will already have a prefix of like that's a little bit larger. So when it adds a T on it, there's already like if it's
I see
depending
what
on the
you're
level, it already got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we can try and run it, but I don't know
Yeah.
if it's
Well,
gonna.
okay. What's your time and space complexity?
So the time complexity, well, we're gonna loop through every like basically file path in our files. So that is like at least O of n, and then we're also, I guess, we're also taking time to build our tree out depending on like the amount of items that we're gonna have. So and that depends on like how many backslashes or like how many items are in our file path that we're looking at. So I guess like it would be like n is n where O of n where n is like the length of our files times like maybe like m where m is like I guess like the longest string in our path, depending on how many times we're splitting like the black slashes, because that determines like how big the tree is gonna be, like in terms of like depth.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Something like that, yeah.
Cool.
And space complexity.
Oh, yeah.
Space complexity. Well, it's probably O of n as well. So because we're making like our tree. We're also making like we're making our tree. We have like this children's like set as well. So it's like 2 O of n's, but it cancels out. So it's just like an O of n space complexity. Yeah. So I think that's like my final answer.
Okay. Cool. So how do you think you did? How's that?
I definitely struggled a lot. I think this was pretty tough for me, at least. I think maybe because of the fact that not only am I like not that great with tree structures already, but it was just like this is like kind of like a tree structure where it's not like your average tree. It's like also like we're gonna have multiple children, and like we have to like look at like this whole file path and everything. I think I don't think I did that well.
Mhm.
Obviously, if this was an actual interview, I don't think it would have gone that well. Um, but honestly, like I think with the amount of time I had and like how much I struggled, I think I got more or less like the logic that I was trying to like
Yeah.
put down. So it wasn't like horrendous either. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So I don't know if you have suggestions for me
Yeah.
or like what I did good or bad.
Let me take a look. I ran this interview. I was watching an interview of someone do this right before. So you did a bit better when it comes to definitely talking about your approach first before writing any code. So the last candidate kind of just started writing code right away without even talking the approach. I like how you sort of listed it out and showed me what the dictionary is gonna look like, what the tree is gonna look like. It required a little bit of prompting, but yeah. So one advice would be if you're talking about some data structure that you're gonna use to store it in, it's usually beneficial for both you and the interviewer to write it out in the comments what that data structure is gonna look like when it's like populated, because you
Okay.
see like once you got into a tree format right here, we can just figure out how to traverse it and we could look back on it. We kind of have a diagram of what we want it to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even with the dictionary approach, like, it's nice that we're able to see it because then I know exactly what you're trying to achieve there. Um, yeah, I think you haven't heard of a prefix tree or a trie.
No,
Have
I
you heard of
haven't.
it?
I've well, like I've heard of it, but I haven't even looked at tried.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, understand that it's kind of common. It's not really common, but it's really important to like prefix trees and tries. You'll actually see it come out in a lot of leak code questions. But honestly,
Okay.
your code is clean. You're able to solve it. You implemented the prefix tree or try the way that I would do it. I think yeah, the hash map and hash map solution would work. Um, I would have let you do it as well, but yeah, since it's already in a hierarchy, might as well just put it in a tree. Like if you look at it,
Yeah.
it's pretty much like sets and sets, but the nodes are represented. Like there's a tree structure to it, which allows you to perform a depth first search easier than doing it with sets because in the sets you would kind of have to like key into the first one, and then if it's a dictionary, like start looping through the keys in that other dictionary.
Yeah. So it gets really like complex.
Yeah, it gets more complex. What else? Yeah, I think you should just work on building tree data structures from scratch. You had some trouble building up the tree data structure, like figuring out how to build the tree node class. I think it's really important to be able to build trees from scratch, build adjacency lists, like all the different variations. Um, but overall, I think you got there. It required a bit of prompting, but I think the code is really clean. You're able to get it. You mixed up the print directory part. You didn't really get by the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think you just need to practice like this prefix tree data structure.
Yeah. The tries. I think my first time hearing about it was actually like I have a friend who interned Datadog, and they asked him like word dictionary, which I know is like a famous try
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
And he told me about it, and that was like the first time I heard about it. And they were kind of expecting him to like give like a optimal try solution because I know there's like a different one that's not super optimal. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Like I've seen candidates always say try this hash map with hash map with hash map, but usually interviewer will try to start coercing you into this prefix tree solution because just performing a DFS on it and reasoning about the data structure and the structure is simpler and more
yeah,
optimal. Like you can get it working in like a hash map of hash map of hash map, but imagine you storing a ton of data in this data structure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely gotta refresh my memory on these on the trees for sure. It's
All
been a
right.
minute.
Thanks for
Yeah. All
coming
right.
on. Gonna hop
No,
off.
thanks, man.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
See ya. Good luck.
All right, take care.
All right, chat. Pretty good. I like that question. Y'all like that question, huh? It's a pretty good question. All right, that's pretty much it. Everyone, tune in tomorrow because tomorrow I have interviews starting at 1 p.m. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific time to 5 p.m. Pacific time is I'm running more mock coding interviews. Blood, yeah, I'll drop a video on this exact question because people really like this question. I'll drop a video and I'll explain how to get it done. Let me write that down in my notes. I'll drop a video on that ASAP. Maybe tomorrow. And then Blood, like, go check it out. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Have a good night. Have a good night. Let me put my outro.
I'm a coder, coffee stains and chains. I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode. This is not a main thing, really. I'm a coder, coffee stains and chains. I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. Lico, beast mode, 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 Lico, beast mode.